Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, we're going to put together a little odds and ends video for you this week. I've got some stuff stacking up over here on the counter, and also ArnFest is coming up this coming weekend. Wanted to get one more announcement out about that. So if you're watching this, the day it goes live, basically the following weekend, Saturday, Sunday, is going to be when the ArnFest event is, which is going to be September 19 through 22nd, 2019. And main days, of course, is going to be on that Friday and Saturday, which will be the 20th and 21st. And I just want to give one more plug for this because love to see some of you guys out there, particularly folks that are up in that part of the world. Come on out. Even if you want to make a road trip, it's a great event to come to. And looking forward, as always, to seeing a lot of my viewers at this event. So ArnFest, one more time. If you're number one, if you want to register for the event, go to arnfest.com. It's ARNFEST.com. You need to register there. Please do, if you're planning on coming, pre-register ahead of time. I'm not sure when they're going to cut off registration for this, but it will cut off before the event sometime later this week. So time is of the essence. I believe they will do on-site registration, but guys, from a logistical standpoint, they really kind of need to have a good head count of who's going to be there and be able to get things like name badges done ahead of time. So instead of doing on-site registration, please do go ahead and register just as quick as you can. So as soon as you see this, if you haven't already and you're wanting to go, just go ahead to the website and get it over with. Friday, we have several things planned throughout the day. I honestly have not even looked at the agenda to see exactly what all's going on, but typically on that Friday, we'll actually back up a day. On Thursday, we have things kind of starting to kick off. Thursday's more of just people bringing stuff in, getting things set up. Usually there'll start being some folks around the Illinois Railway Museum, which is where we have the event, around lunchtime and on Thursday, but it's very, very informal on Thursday. Friday, we start having scheduled events, and hopefully there is a schedule up on the website by now. You can kind of see what all will be planned. We usually have demonstrations on how to do things. We usually are doing a machinery building, so we will bring in some piece of equipment, and over the course of the weekend, over Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, kind of a bunch of folks will jump on that, finish a project out, and then on Saturday night at the banquet, they will auction that machine off. So that's typically how they've done that in the past. Saturday is kind of the big day. That is the morning we have the swap meet that morning, which is always fun. Really one of the highlights for me is for people to bring their stuff out and get to go out there and look around the swap meet. Always find some stuff. Usually it's stuff I didn't even know I was looking for until I see it, and then I have to have it and bring it home with me. But come on out for the swap meet, and then on Saturday again, stuff going on all day long. They usually will have some tours set up as part of the museum out there, along with everything else we do. And then that evening, on Saturday evening, we have a banquet, raffle, silent auction, etc. At the Holiday Inn Crystal Lake, Illinois is where that's located at. So again, love for you guys to come on out. Love to see some folks. ArnFest is going to be at Illinois Railway Museum on September 19th through 22nd, 2019. Go to arnfest.com to register if you haven't already. And with that, got some viewer mail over here and a few little purchases and so forth. We're going to go ahead and start working through these. So let's show you what all we got. First item here is a pretty cool little item. It's a little small baggage tag that was sent in to me by Ray Fisher. And Ray is out in Tucson, Arizona, has the Hammer Blow Mining Museum. And this is something he sent me, knowing my interest in railways. And this is an item he picked up. I don't know exactly where. He may have told me, but I don't remember. But the Kilauea Railway was a narrow gauge railroad that was in Hawaii. Started around 1876 and was in operation on up until about 1966. And during part of that time, they actually had passenger service on this line. It was only about 15 miles long, but they did have some passenger service. And we believe that this is a baggage tag that would have been put on baggage whenever they were running passengers on that service. He tells me this is a pretty rare item, pretty hard to come by, and was kind enough to send it along to me as just a little item to have in my collection of railroad memorabilia, which I greatly appreciate. So Ray, thanks so much for sending that in. It's made out of brass, And anyway, cool little piece of railroading history there from one of the few railroads in Hawaii. So thank you very much, sir. Next item here comes from Jim McLaughlin up in New Hampshire, and Jim sent along a very nice item here. Open it up for you guys. It's a Mitutoyo Height Gauge, and he says, they wrote me a little note here. It says, this Mitutoyo Height Gauge has been sitting around in the engineering department at my job unused for 30 years. I hope you can make good use of it or find someone who will. So anyway, very nice, very, very nice Mitutoyo. Mitutoyo, of course, makes very fine instruments. This one here is one that has the dial indicator on there up to 1/1000 of an inch. Really a nice little height gauge, and barely used if ever used, that's for sure. Still has the original instructions in the case here, along with some screws here these are put in here to clamp this in place. There's a fine adjust in here and some other things. So anyway, very, very nice. This will definitely get used over on the surface plate, I am sure. And in fact, this might be the nicest surface gauge I've got now, our height gauge. So thank you very much for sending that in, Jim. We will definitely put her to good use. Next item here is a gift that came in from Bob Teeter. Bob has sent me countless things over the years. I just will randomly get stuff from him, and again, he kind of blew me away on this one. So this is actually a brand new item that he sent me, which is a set of brand new gauge blocks. You know, I had done a video the other week and had mentioned in there that my gauge blocks were old and probably needed to find some better ones, and I wasn't really trying to get somebody to send me a brand new set of gauge blocks, but Bob did anyway, and for that I'm greatly appreciative. So nice little set here. This is I believe this is an import set, but still, you know, this kind of stuff, as long as it's within spec, it really doesn't matter where it came from. So nice little set here, and I'm sure that I will be able to put these to use and make good work out of them. Unfortunately, in shipping, the sides of the wooden box here came apart, but that's pretty easy fix with some glue and a couple of clamps. In fact, I'm going to probably go do that right now, get that fixed back up so that it's just like it needs to be. But Bob, thanks again, buddy. I do appreciate it more than you know, and thank you very much. That's all I can say. I appreciate it. Let's put some glue back on this. See if we can't get this box back together like it's supposed to be. Take a couple of clamps, put in here. We'll let that glue dry, and hopefully it shall be as good as new. Next item here comes from Wesley Cradock up in Entwistle, Alberta, Canada. And this is actually a pretty neat little device that he has started manufacturing and selling some. It's called a CenterQuic. And you can find out more about this at CenterQuic.com. Quick is spelled Q-U-I-C, CenterQuic.com. But what this is let me take it out of the package here. It's a fairly simple device, but basically made out of some spring steel that will spread out. You can put this on a chuck or something that's rotating on a lathe or a milling machine, drill press, whatever you're working on. And on one side here, it has a laser. And interestingly, he designed a little centrifugal switch inside this, so when it starts spinning, the laser turns on. You can adjust this block at different angles, and basically what it does is it spins around, creates a circle that you see with your eye from the laser, and gives you an idea of how something's going to center up to what you're doing. So if you got a hole that's been bored in something and you want to line your machine up to it by eye, you can use this right here to just kind of spin a circle on there that you can see and then do it. So I'm gonna go over to the milling machine and kind of show you how it works. So I'm just gonna come over here. I've got a chuck up on here. We'll just put it up on the milling machine. I just put something around. This happens to be a die down here. So when I turn it on, you can see it's the circle that it kind of leaves on the part that you got there. And now I can come in here and kind of eyeball this to get it centered up on there if I wanted to. And I'm going to slow her down. What I want to do is I'm going to just barely turn that out a little bit. Now you can see it's right there on the edge of the part. So using that right there, hopefully that's going to show up in the video. I can't believe I got lucky and got that diameter almost perfect on the first shot, but there you go. I mean, that's basically how you use this thing. It's obviously not as accurate as something like a dial indicator would be, but for getting something roughed in there and just quick and dirty, I think this is going to be a really cool tool to have in the arsenal. I can definitely see of several situations where it'd be great to have, particularly if I don't have a good machine surface that I'm trying to do. If it's say casting or something like that I really can't run an indicator around, or something that has a rough hole in it that the indicator's not going to work on, or maybe not a full circle, partial circle, I really can see where something like this would come in handy. Next up here comes a Spade Drill that was sent in by Doug Taylor up in Murphy, North Carolina. So if you're not familiar with this, basically this is a drill bit that can have different size diameters based on the tool that you put in there. So you got a holder here. This one has a number 4 Morse taper. It happens to have the ability to pump coolant through it if you so have that feature. This could be on a lathe, it could be on a drill press, milling machine, whatever you got that has a number 4 Morse taper shank on it. And you basically just remove the screw down here. The different pieces go up in here, lock in place for different diameters. And you can see he sent along a selection of different diameter cutters here to use along with this. And he basically has told me that he had this, it was used in on a lathe, but he doesn't have a lathe anymore that has a number 4 Morse taper. And I thought I could put it to use. So anyway, Doug, thanks so much for sending that along. I will put this over in my drill bit collection, and wouldn't be surprised if you see me use it down the road. Just never know when you need this kind of stuff. So I've never used a spade drill, so I might have to set it up and try it out one day just to play around with it. Thank you, sir. So next item here is somewhat of a mystery tool. I mean, I kind of have a general idea of what it is, but not exactly. So just first off, this was given to me by Andrew Alexander. Andrew's a friend of mine out in the Dallas, Texas area. Goes by Blacksmith Tools over on Instagram. He collects all kinds of blacksmith tools and all kinds of tools and machinery and stuff in general. I was out at his place a couple of weeks ago when I was in the Dallas area, and he gave me this. He told me that when he got it, he was told it was used in a steam locomotive. It was a handle off of something. Very well could be. I'm just not exactly sure exactly what it would have gone on. So got a square shank in there. The one side here is kind of rounded. When you turn the handle, it tightens that up. And then of course it's got this kind of feature right here. Kind of looks like it might be like a brake handle or something potentially in a locomotive cab. I'm really just not sure. So if you know what that is, or if I'm totally off base, send me an email, krucker@friendlycity.net. I would love to hear from you and figure out exactly what it is. So again, if you know what it is, shoot me an email at krucker@friendlycity.net and maybe send along some photos or something of it on something else so I can get a better idea. Always like the mystery items. So, and Andrew, thank you for the kind gift. Hopefully we'll figure out exactly what it is. Thank you, sir. A couple of weeks ago, I was up in the Milwaukee area, and I was getting my planer bed ground in over at Cash Master's place at Kinetic. Lance Baltzley and I were up there. And when I was up there, a friend of mine gave me a call and said, hey, you're in Milwaukee. You need to go by and see my buddy Aaron Cergol over at Cergol Forge. He said, he's a blacksmith up there, amazing guy. You need to go see him. Well, I'll be honest with you, Lance and I were both tired. We've been working all day long, grinding the bed on the grinder or on the planer. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I'm glad I did. We went over, met Aaron, and wow, that's all I can say. Aaron's a fairly young guy in his 20s, but probably one of the most talented blacksmiths that I've ever really been around. Really just does amazing work. And he gave us a tour of his shop. I'm going to put some pictures in here, just kind of show you some pictures I took. I posted these over on my Instagram account when I was up there in the area. But Aaron has just an amazing blacksmith shop. He has an amazing collection of blacksmithing tools. And he does amazing blacksmithing work. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And that's pretty much the way it is. He really wanted me when I was up there to say, he said, why don't you come on here, we'll make a hammer while you're up here. And I really wanted to, but it was already getting kind of late in the day, just didn't have time to do it. Really needed to get back to the hotel and get some rest so we could get up and going the next day. And was really kind of bummed about that. And lo and behold, I got in the mail this past week a little token from Aaron. It's a ticket. I'll zoom you in here and show it to you. Basically says, this ticket good for one tool making class at Cergol Forge. So Aaron, I'm going to be making another trip back up to Milwaukee. I'm not sure when, but I'm going to make it a priority. And we're going to get in there. We're going to take a tool making class. Aaron has invited me to bring my cameras along and shoot some video while we're up there. I'd love to shoot some video, just do a shop tour because he's got an amazing collection of stuff. And then also maybe do a little video of us pounding on some metal, maybe make a hammer or something like that. So anyway, Aaron, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your hospitality while we were up in Milwaukee, and looking forward to making a trip up there again soon and getting a chance to come in there and visit your shop, play around in the forge, and make some video that we can share with everybody else. So go check him out, Cergol Forge. I don't know if he's on YouTube. I know he's over on Instagram. So amazing stuff that he posts there. So go check him out. Next item here, got some magnetic Vblocks, magnetic transfer Vblocks. These are some I did some horse trading with a viewer, Aaron Dudra, out in Arizona. Aaron has also an Instagrammer rather. I think he has some stuff over on YouTube as well, but I just restored a beautiful Monarch lathe. Actually, it was in pretty good shape. He didn't have to do a whole lot of restoring to it, just cleaning it up and doing some stuff. But I actually had some parts that he needed for his lathe that were surplus to me. And he recently bought a whole bunch of tooling and had these items in there that you use over on the surface grinder. And we just did a little bit of horse trading. So basically I got some stuff I wanted, he got some stuff he wanted. The way these work is these have alternating between steel and then some type of non-ferrous material. Looks like brass in this one and aluminum in this one. But when you put this on a magnetic chuck over on a surface grinder, it basically allows the magnetic flux to go through here. So it sticks this down to the plate, but also holds whatever you have inside this piece here. So these are real handy for doing grinding work. And I've got several sizes, but these were some just add to the collection because you need them. And when you need them, you need them. So nice to have these in there. Aaron, thanks for trading these with me. And I'm going to have your stuff headed your way very soon. We've been having to do a little bit of getting stuff ready to ship. Some of his stuff's kind of heavy. We're going to have to put it on a commercial truck to get it out there. But anyway, thanks a lot, Aaron. I appreciate it. So there you go, guys. There's the items we had to share with you this time on odds and ends. And with that, we're going to pretty much wrap the video up. Just mention, again, real quickly, ArnFest. Come see us. September 20th and 21st is when I'm going to be there, which will be this coming Friday and Saturday. If you're watching this when I post it, that's 2019, September 2021. And this week's going to be a busy week for me. I'm actually got to head up to St. Louis for a meeting for work, and then I'm going to be leaving there and going up to Chicago area for ArnFest, be getting in on Thursday evening up there after my meeting's over Thursday afternoon. And I will be at ArnFest on Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to stay over on Sunday. That's going to be a travel day to get back home because I have to be back at work on Monday. I've got some important stuff going on next week, and couldn't afford to take any more time off. So, but I am looking forward to being up in there in the Chicago area and hope to see many of you guys there. Please go register for the event if you haven't already. Again, arnfest.com, ARNFEST.com. And with that, that's going to be a wrap on this one, guys. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.